Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in this beautiful, wonderful world. And it is your girl, Victoria Walker, your business strategist, transformational coach, and divine feminine leader. So I'm going to get this right now because that is my tagline. I think it embodies sort of everything that I do, everything that I stand for, and everything that I'm moving into. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, today I wanted to share something quite close to my heart. And I'm sharing this because this is one of the biggest challenges and problems that a lot of people will face. And I don't want people to make the same mistake I've done, especially as an entrepreneur. You know, entrepreneurship and being in business and being a leader and taking and making bold moves requires a certain level of self-awareness, a certain level of mental strength, and a certain level of resilience. And you'll find that a lot of entrepreneurs are actually people who, have come from backgrounds that maybe were challenging or had their own sort of traumas and dramas in it. And really entrepreneurs cultivate this sort of strong, well, good ones cultivate this strong ability to take risks, to keep pushing. And a lot of it is because they have been through things that have kind of groomed them for this life. And so I wanted to talk about the challenges of carrying emotional baggage when you're going into business. Because I believe this is the number one cause why people actually don't start, or they procrastinate, or they get overwhelmed, or they suffer from anxiety, because a lot of the time we are carrying emotional baggage. We're carrying things that happen to us in our childhoods, things that happen to us, in our adolescence, and experiences, failures. And so one of the most important things to do in any part, on any stage of your business, especially if you've experienced sort of negative emotions and feelings, is to clear some of this energy, because the emotions stay with us. They stay in our bodies, they stay in our minds, they stay in our auras, and it affects us. A lot of people are blocking their own sort of blessings and blocking the ability to receive and the ability to live in abundance, because they're carrying the weight of either resentment or rejection or loss or grief or anger. And when we're carrying and embodying these energies, often we're not becoming a vibrational match or a magnet for the things that we actually want, which is, high vibrational clients, dream clients who are in abundance, and we want to serve in our deepest and most authentic space. But we can never do that if we are carrying pains and wounds and emotional baggage that we just haven't cleared. And, this was something that I went through definitely in the first sort of few years of my business, and even longer, because, I shared my story where a lot of my work was driven by wounds. It was driven by the need for validation. So I constantly was, rather than going towards what I wanted to create, I was actually running away from the feeling of inadequacy and not being worthy. And the only way I could at the time feel like I was valuable was through proving myself and showing that I could do this and I'm capable of this, and and it really wore me into the ground, because when things didn't work out in my business or things went bad, it completely crushed me, because my sense of self-worth was tied to the success of my business. And it's such a emotionally draining and soul destroying place to be in when we're in this state. So I am sharing this with you guys because I want you all to be aware of this and recognize this in your own lives and in your own business, because all of us will have some, even like issues don't even have to be the past, it could be present. We've got relationships that we have to manage, we've got finances we have to manage, we've got people in our lives that may be toxic. There's all these things that, even health issues, all these things do play into our ability to attract, grow, and move into our purpose and into our impact. So what I've done is I've created, this is something I did this with therapists, and I did this with a lot of different healers, but I put it into a playbook, and it's an emotional clearing process, and it works very, 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 very well at clearing. Now, one of the things that happens is why we carry this baggage is because a lot of our experiences are still trapped in us because we haven't resolved them. We haven't taken time to rewrite the story of what happened. We haven't taken time to release the energy, both sort of mentally and spiritually and emotionally. So I created this playbook that you guys can use. And what it allows you to do is you basically write down. So you'll have incidences in your mind or experiences that have shaped you. It could have been a loss of a business or a loss of a parent or a breakdown of a relationship or anything that, left a negative imprint on you and affected you. And what I want you to do with this playbook is, and you'll see when you download it, it gives you an opportunity to write the actual story and relive it. Part of releasing it is reliving it. Reliving it and evaluating it, and then rewriting a new story. What would you have liked to have happened? If you was in that situation again, how would you handle it? If you had the tools, knowledge, mindset, skills, and ability today, how would you protect yourself? How would you, what would you say? And I found this exercise for me became very healing, because you're able to give another perspective to what you've held on to. Often we go through things and we move on, we forget about it, but it doesn't leave us. It just manifests in procrastination. It manifests in low moods. It manifests in depression. It manifests in all these other things because we have this baggage. So I want you to use this tool if you feel like this is something you need to do or you haven't done, or even if you've done this kind of work, there's always layers and layers to remove. And this journal is a really handy tool to help you at any point in time in your business. Journaling is like therapy. It's about releasing the emotion. It's about taking it out of your mind, taking it out of you, and letting it go. And this is also part of the topic and spiel that I give about surrender. It's like letting things go. Doesn't mean that you forget necessarily, but let's rewrite a story against some of these old events and these stories that we've made, beliefs that we've made around these stories, that we're not good enough and we're not worthy. These things affect how much abundance you can bring in. These things affect how you show up in your business. Some people are so afraid to be visible. Where did that come from? What event happened to you that made you feel so afraid to show up? It's about looking at these things and releasing them so that you can really, really, really step into your power and into your glory and into your divinity that you have. So I'm going to leave you guys on that note. Please feel free to download the playbook. There's some instructions there. And drop me a comment. Let me know if you've done the exercises and how it felt for you and what breakthroughs you got from it. All right, guys. So I'll speak to you soon. Much love, light, and blessings to you all. Take care.